Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm a little late today. As always, I get off my calls on Tuesday with my young student in India, and we have a great conversation. And today we were working on spelling, and we were working on holidays. We were comparing the holidays between her country and ours. And it was just fun to have those conversations and to try to relate the things she needed to hear, wanted to hear, so she could learn, and compare it to a culture that I'm unfamiliar with. But luckily, we have this phone, and so I can look up comparisons. Like if I wanted to talk to her about Christmas, I and she gives me her festival, like Diwali festival. I can look it up really quickly and build some relationships for her that help us learn. So I'm not too sure who's the student of whom, but I'm enjoying the experience. And that's what I want to talk to you about today is change. How receptive are you to change? Now, in my business, I always have to be receptive to change. It's not about is it comfortable? And at my age, I have to be acceptable to change. And this is where people often get stuck. They like things to stay the way that they were. But it just isn't going to happen. It's never happened that things stay the same. And all we have to do is our most recent experiences to take 2020 and look at what the disruption the world had. So here's what I want to talk to you about today is change. How do you receive it? How do you accept it? How do you prepare for it? Now, sometimes change comes like this, and it is not comfortable, but we have to give ourselves some time to adjust to it and create what new can come of that. So there's some dramatic changes that people have and they're tragic. And I'm not going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about those simple changes where I'm going to hypothesize a few things here. Let's say you've been running around grumbling for a year about your job. You don't like it. You don't feel happy there. You can't fake it anymore. And it's tough for you to go into work every day. But at the same time, you're afraid of making that change of just saying, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And having done this twice in my life, once was when I said I'm out of here. It was my business. I sold it, but I was done. And another time was a job that I had just a few years ago, and I had to own up that, I wasn't as happy. I still had all my skills, I had talents, but I wasn't as happy as I was going into work every day. Only in the 8 months before I quit, I knew that I was wearing down. I wasn't feeling really good about where I was. Good morning. So change was necessary, and I was the only one to make that change. Well, sometimes many of us wait too long to make the changes. We let circumstances take us, and that puts us out of control. And we go into panic and we get worried about what it is we're going to do. And then we get into that moment of fretting, and we just can't get out of that. And I've got a friend who would call it the deep abyss. We can't get out of that deep place where we just feel lost. So, change is something to be embraced, but most of us don't know how to embrace it. Now, all of us will be complaining about the change we have coming this weekend because it's going to be daylight savings time and we're going to make an adjustment on the clocks and people are going to moan and groan about the time. Or you can just say, it's changing. That's it. And you're going to own that you're going to wake up when you wake up and you're going to be just as rested as you were the day before. That's how I handle it. I don't have a transition issue because I decided long ago change is always going to happen on a couple of dates during the year. It's going to mess with my clock, but it is not going to mess with my rhythm. So I got my rhythm. And I just tell my body, look, you're going to start waking up at this time and you're going to go to bed a little earlier. Adjust. And it does. Now I know that sounds silly to some of you, but what I want to say is this change, good morning, is one of those things that uh it either sucks or you make the best of it. So, some of you who are making changes now in your lives could be around how are you going to stay home again? You're worried about this winter, or you just really realized after last year you liked staying home. Some of you are already staying home. But you still might be like I was. It took me 9 months to sort through different systems, processes, support systems, coaching systems to find my solutions. Well, I found a one off solution for me, a one stop shop where I can offer education to my networking team, my network marketing team. I can offer some systems to help them follow up with emails. I can give them a customer relationship management system, and I can give them daily motivation, not from me, but from somebody else. There's 5 days of daily motivation I get to give. And I was on a call last night because they decided to call me the member of the month for October. And it was like, oh, that was a nice little surprise. But that wasn't a dramatic change. It was just like everything that I've been doing and changing this year. I changed systems. I changed how I approach people. I changed how I support people. I changed how I can coach people. And all were just subtle adjustments. Nothing was throwing out the bathwater. But I also, by making those changes, eliminated a lot of self-doubt. Self-doubt is the killer. If we can change and know that self-doubt lives, but we make it our friend, not our enemy, where else can we get to? So to me, the value of self-doubt is to say, have I thought about everything, and who else do I need to talk to, and who might I get input from? I have 3 or 4 really good friends that we bounce ideas off one another when we're trying something new. I was just on a call with one yesterday, and we really both got to celebrate where we've been, where we've come, and the doubts that we had, and what's showing up for us in our lives, and also the new changes we're making. But we have this call. We just spend 30 minutes once a week. We talk about what worked. We talk about what didn't work. We talk about what we're looking at, and we talk about what we've implemented. And we both get ideas off of each other. So to me, if you're going to do change, the way you stayed out of fear with change is you stay out of your own head. You get a partner in the process, and you don't get someone who's going to automatically agree with you. You get someone who's going to poke you to look at things differently. Now, is it comfortable to get poked? Like, did you think of it this way? Did you think of it this way? Well, what about this thought? Well, are you going down a rat hole? Do you need more information? Well, I know I'm a person who makes decisions very, very quickly. It doesn't always mean they were the best decision. I step into action very, very quickly. But I learned years ago that sometimes those great people around me who are slower processing ideas sometimes bring me the whisper that I need to hear to adjust just a little bit differently. And so now I get to help others when they come to me. I'm the whisper, I'm the thought, I'm the thing about change that maybe you still want to add in this thought. Maybe you want to let go of 3 things that you're thinking of doing because that's absolutely too much. It's going to take up too much time, and you don't need those ideas to get to where you're going to go. So when I get to work with my team, I get to help people sometimes just make their plate a little bit smaller, not bigger. So there's a lot of we all have big appetites. So when we want to change, sometimes we take on too many things in our menu, our buffet of what it is we're going to change in our business. So change can be a friend if you own it, you know that you need to change, and now you find a plan for that change. If change comes suddenly to you, like you didn't get to create that change, like somebody imposed it upon you, like you lost your job, well, then you still approach it the same way. You go back and you say, I have assets. What are those assets? The first thing you do, if there's a dramatic change in your life, you go back and you make a list of your assets. And those are all the skills you've had for your lifetime. You have to remind yourself, because it's amazing how we let like if you lose a job, we let somebody else come in and devalue you. But only you can allow that in your head. So change, like in the sense of losing a job, it's rough because you got the immediate survival needs. I am not going to discount those immediate survival needs. But what you get is an opportunity to go, oh, I've done this before. I've done this before. I've done this before. I can do this. I can do this. I have this asset. I have these skills that I haven't used in a long time. Let me brush them off. So when you can get a 1-page or more document with who you are, what you've done, what your skills are, and what you'd like to do, you're in a better place to accept change. So I'm a proponent of change, not for change's sake, but I know it happens every day. It happens every day because the weather changes every day. So a lot of things change every day. You have to change your clothes every day. You might change your makeup every day. So you might change the tires on your car. So why not embrace change? Find a way to make it your ally, make change your friend, and see the next time a disruption comes along in your life where you didn't get control of that change. Let's see how fast you can take it over, regroup, and get going. And if you're not sure that's something that, this sounds like pie in the sky, then that's why you get a hold of me, successwithmarla.com. You just look down there. You can also find me on YouTube on my channel, Marla Copal. Just look me up and go back and watch some of my videos for the last year. I've got quite a few. I don't edit. I decide that what you get, what I give is what you get, because I'm not a polisher. So change for me would be to go find someone to edit my videos and put that polish in. And I realized that my unpolished me and system and process works for me, because slick is never who I've been. So I'm not going to take on a persona. I might take segments out, I might put in a drop little screen, but I'm not out there other than to communicate, to help, to support. So if you can go take my videos just as they were, unedited, then join me on my YouTube channel, Marla Copal, or catch me here every day at 8:30-ish, because on Tuesdays I'm a tad late, and or get on my newsletter with successwithmarla.com, and let's see how we can make things work for you as a small business entrepreneur, as a salesperson, as someone who has to market yourself. Let's tune in. Let's get you tuned up, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.